Hello, in this video, I'm talking about how to feel sexy AF in your body. Before we get started, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and hit the like button because it helps so much. And girl, I'm gonna give you some serious ass nuggets. So today I'm talking about how to feel sexy in your body, how to love your body, how to feel beautiful in your body. And I thought that it was an appropriate time because I get asked often by grown ass women, not like 5-year-olds, what do you eat? And they think that I'm gonna give them this like magic scroll from like King Triton. And I have whatever Lani eats. The only reason that she has an amazing body, I'm gonna be 39 soon. The only reason that I have this amazing body is because I have this like magic recipe of like what I eat, and it has only to do with food and nothing to do with my energy or mindset. So I'm here to squash all those lies, squash the bullshit. And the reason why I get so excited, I'll have my partner put one of my old photos when I was like in my early 20s, because the first thing that women do that are struggling with food and their body, and all that is confidence, because a woman with self-confidence would never ever feel out of control when she eats. Dear God, kids can stop eating when they're full. This isn't like a crazy, like you need to win the lottery, or oh my God, this is a skill that only you were born without. It's literally something that we were born with, but as we get sucked into this low self-esteem, I have to be perfect, and we obsess about symptoms, so obviously it's the food. It's not the food. It has nothing to do with the food. I don't even like think about, am I gonna get fat if I eat this? That used to completely, I was like obsessed all day about that. So the reason why I love talking about this is because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be a prisoner and trapped and be searching for that magic scroll from King Triton. I did every diet you can ever imagine. Like all of my roommates growing up, they will sometimes comment back. So through college, like when my teens, I moved out at 18. So from my teens all the way, I think the last time I had a roommate in America was like in my late 20s. But they all like kind of come back on Facebook and joke about like my crazy diets that I used to do. Like was obsessed. I would like just go crazy over the top and work out for like 100 hours a day. And then like I had to have, if there wasn't a reason, like I'm going to be in my bikini in Lake Havasu, then like I didn't have a reason and I would just punish. I was like, all right, so time to punish yourself to get in that bikini. And everything was like a horrible fight. And so I was like pushing. I was pushing and pushing, and you can't sustain that pushing. You can't fight. It's like being on the front lines in battle 24 hours a day. You can't do that. Nobody can. That's why they have freaking soldiers switching. It's not sustainable to be pushing and pushing, and that's like that masculine energy. And again, that comes from the feeling of unworthiness. Like I would never punish my body today, and I'm not looking at this as a horrible fight and like I'm going into war. I'm like, okay, like this, my body's so beautiful, so sexy, so strong, so flexible, and so amazing. But I know what that feels like. I used to struggle so gnarly. And like I've had conversations with women who are like 100 pounds overweight, and they're like, but obviously like it's different for me because you were never 100 pounds overweight. Like I know you were overweight, but you were never 100. So obviously it's like harder for me. And then, so we start talking about how I'm like, how do you feel about food? What do you think about food? How do you feel about your body? And so when we talk about it, we have the exact same response. It didn't matter that I never got to 100 pounds overweight. I had a horrible, negative, punishing, traumatic relationship with food, the same type that I used to have in my romantic relationships. That's why I'm like, girl, it's a symptom. I guarantee that if you're struggling with food in your body, that is not the only horrible relationship in your life. The way we do one thing is the way we do the majority of our things. And so it was just another symptom of this lack of self-worth and this lack of confidence and not believing that I was worthy of it. I'm disgusting. Obviously, my body's a horrible thing, and I'm going to make this crazy fight. And I would like hurt myself, and I was pushing. So I know how it feels to be obsessed, to be addicted, and to be taken over by this really gnarly negative food energy. And so when women ask me like, what do you eat? Oh my God, your body must be so good. They like want me to say that I just eat like 3 pieces of lettuce all day. And I know, because this is what I used to ask. I would ask questions to prove why I couldn't have the body that they had, because it was different for me and it was harder for me. So I wasn't coming in wanting to hear the truth. Like, I'll tell a woman, it's my self-worth. It has nothing to do with food. It's totally the way that I love myself. It has nothing to do with the external. All this is a symptom of Lani loving herself unconditionally and showing up every day to connect to Mother Earth. And if y'all need some help, like, the first step is going to be do my meditation. So when you're out of your body, you self-harm, you binge, you starve, you push, you go on the front lines, you go into battle mode. And like, the only reason that you can do that is if you have low self-worth, low self-esteem, and no self-love. So you've got to do this meditation. I just released one a few days ago. It's so beautiful and amazing. I'm going to put the link in the description. And it's how to be in your body. So when we're in our mind and that pushing battle mode, it's anxiety, it's negative. It's not positive to feel like, this is horrible and miserable, I'm going into battle. And punishment, that's miserable. So it's going to totally get you out of your head, which means any anxiety and any fear around this, we can alleviate that by coming into the present moment. Because the problem is not the food. The problem is you're out of your body, and so you can self-harm. The same way people can do drugs, the same way people can cut, the same way people can hurt other humans physically by fighting and saying mean things. Don't compartmentalize and act like your food thing is different than your relationship thing or your money thing. It's all connected. So yeah, get down on that meditation first of all. And so when I say to a woman, it's my self-worth, like literally, I don't freak out about what I'm going to eat. I used to like sit there and be like, are they going to finish that food? Like, no shitting you.
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
When we'd go to Vegas with the girls, I was like so psycho about food. And when I'd get wasted, I would binge eat. Like, not kidding you, I'd wake up after, we'll come back to Vegas, but I'd wake up in Newport Beach because we had, let me know if you had them 24-hour Del Taco drive-thrus. And I would go through the drive-thru and just grub and binge so hard and like wake up with like so much food wrappers around in this receipt that was huge. I'm just like, oh my God, I literally ate like what a human should eat in a week. Like last night when I was blacked out wasted, like I've fallen asleep in food wrappers before. I've literally fallen asleep with like a jar of peanut butter on my stomach, not kidding you. So we go to Vegas and I'm wasted and like this was just I need this attention, I need my body. And you know how in Vegas when you're done eating, you put your food outside your door, like in any hotel. It doesn't have to just be in Vegas, but specifically. So when you're done eating with room service at any hotel, you put the food outside the door, and I would go through and like eat the leftover food. I don't know how I made it out alive out of these years, but like part of it was to blow minds, but part of it was like I was in such scarcity that I could not fucking stand when somebody didn't like finish a drink or finish their food. It would like give me anxiety if there was leftover food. I'd be so out of my body and so disconnected. And I used to say, I don't have a full button. Oh, you're so lucky that you have a full button. I don't have a full button. I never feel full. But that's such a lie. That is so bullshit. There's no such thing as no full button. There's such a thing as you're in your head, you're out of your body, you're disconnected, so you're self-harming. Everybody feels full. It's just that you're in your head. So when I tell a woman, dude, it's just my self-love, and she doesn't want to hear that because she's looking for me to prove like, oh, it's harder for me, and obviously Lani's lucky. So she like doesn't like just ignores it. Like, I'm not going to write back anyway. And it's like, if she just took my advice and was like, dude, love yourself. Stop punishing yourself. Stop pushing. Get out of the masculine. Get into flow. Be in your body. That's the only way that you get to have this incredible, like your body is your vessel, you know? So she just ignores it because she doesn't want that answer. The same thing that I used to ask questions and all I was doing was trying to prove why it was so much easier for that woman to have it all. But obviously it's harder for me. Obviously I'm big boned. Obviously I have slow metabolism. Obviously whatever, I've heard I'm a mom or whatever, all the excuses. So, what we're gonna just completely do, I'm shedding a little bit, just gonna shower, is we are going to stop obsessing over the symptom, stop obsessing over food, stop acting like being skinny or whatever word you use is gonna make you happy. Because in my marriage, I was so out of control that the only thing I could control was my body. So I got super anorexic. Like I wasn't eating. It was the only thing that I could control. Like I wasn't so afraid in my relationship and everything was out of control. So I just got fully anorexic. So from the outside in, people might be like, oh, what a beautiful yoga body. She's like so skinny or whatever. But just so we're clear, if you're so fucking obsessed and thinking that the food is the thing or having this amazing body will completely make you happy, I had never been lower. That was the lowest. I'd never been lower. I never was more out of control with food or my body. I had gnarliest insomnia. I was balding. My hair was falling out. I had gnarly pain, so BV and gnarly pain in yoni. So if the answer was food and your body, then why the fuck was I the lowest and most unhappy than I'd ever been when from the outside in someone would be like, oh, she looks amazing in a bikini on Instagram? Hello? Like, crack your mind open and stop like using these excuses and acting like one thing from the outside is going to save you. And a lot of times when I was doing drugs and hanging out with friends who were just doing blow and Xanax and had these like tiny bodies and fake boobs and looked amazing on Instagram in their bikinis, they were so depressed. They were completely on drugs. They were like so unhealthy, not drinking any water. And so that's obviously not a great formula. And you can't sustain it. You can't starve for your whole life. So the answer to your question about what do I eat? What does Lani eat? Why is her body so amazing? Oh, she must eat 3 pieces of lettuce. I don't. I eat whatever my body is craving. And because I love my body and have so much respect for myself, I eat my greens every day. I love fruit. I love veggies. I love my protein. Just like the reason why I get a good night's sleep every night is because I love myself. So my body is my temple because I have a lot of respect for myself and my standards are so high. Same reason I don't hang around people that complain. Same thing. I don't control the world, but I just have really high standards. I've raised my standards. And one of the biggest lies that I used to tell myself was like, I'm doing everything. It's obviously my metabolism. It's obviously I'm big boned. I would say that all the time. So embarrassing. Like in my early 20s, I would balloon up and then I would take these gnarly diet pills and I'd starve and then I'd get crazy acne because I was putting all these chemicals in my body and then balloon and go down. And I was like, just trying to get this external validation, like, oh, look at your body. It's so amazing. I wasn't doing it because I loved myself. I was doing it because I hated myself. You can never sustain that. So exhausting and it's so miserable. So if we can quit focusing on a symptom and understand that 80% of everything in your life is not a strategy. It's not a diet. I don't ever put any of my clients on diets. Nobody's 5. I don't ever tell anybody what to eat. Dear God, like, do you want me to, I had somebody be like, well, maybe you can teach me how to like figure out when I'm full. And I had a giggle because I remembered that when I was one of my crazy diet times, I told my brother, I was like, okay, like I have no self-control. So if you see me in the kitchen eating like bad shit because I want to lose weight, you freaking get it out of my hands. You fucking smack it out of my hands. I'm like, seriously. And he was like, okay. He loved the challenge.
Run.
So like one night, little Miss Piggy goes in the kitchen to eat when I'm not hungry, to just numb because I'm so out of my body and I'm not hungry. But I'm like, it's this, anxious, it's like smoking or this like quick release, like, oh, I'll binge eat. And then like, it's like this coping mechanism. So I go in the kitchen, I'm trying to stuff my face with some shit that I don't want. And my brother comes in and like, I can see him in the hallway and we meet eyes and I'm like trying to stuff it in my face and he freaking lightning speeds over like Sonic. I don't even know how he got to me so fast and I'm like right about to get it in my mouth and he grabs my hand and I'm like, trying to eat it and he's shaking my hand and then he flings the food out of my hand and I'm like, thanks, brother. That was a close one. It's like, do you want me to fucking follow you around your house and shake your fucking hand when you're about to put a cake in your mouth when you're not hungry? Like, do you think that's a sustainable way to have the body of your dreams? No, that's crazy. That's horrifying. Like, that's not a sustainable way. I can't follow you around and you're not hungry, bitch. Quit being a little piggy. Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, that's weird. That's like being a prisoner. I'm not going to follow you around and smack your hand. what we need to do is get to the root of it when you actually want to learn how to love yourself. Because if you're like the ones that message me and you're looking for me to say, oh yeah, I just starved myself, and like you're not gonna have this body ever because I'm lucky. If you're one of those, then you're not ready to do the deep work. It ain't gonna happen. So quit focusing on the food and just like stop, because it's spinning you in a circle and it's exhausting and it's making everything worse. You're focusing on a symptom, not the problem. You're at A, you want to get to B, and you're just going like this. So no matter how busy or exhausted or how much you suffer, how much you diet or how miserable you are, ain't going to get you to B. You're going in a circle. So the root of it, and the way that we actually learn to love our body and feel sexy in our own skin, is the inner work. Literally everything is energy. Literally everything is a belief system. And I've had to switch a lot of those because you've known how I've grown up with this gnarly fear of not being good enough and I need to be perfect. So the deep work to get from where you are now to where you want to be by feeling so sexy in your body and having the body of your dreams is by doing the inner work and changing your belief systems for self-love, 100% confidence, and self-worth. Ain't no other way you're gonna get there, baby girl. So if you're ready to do that, if you're not the ones that want this magic pill, and if you're not the one that want me to tell you, oh, it's too hard for you, you can't do it. If you actually are ready to be the woman that you say you want to be, then you've got to come to my free workshop. All the details are in the description. So get in there now. I go way deeper on this and it's just amazing and incredible. And don't forget to hit the bell icon, the subscribe button, the like button. Check out my other videos on YouTube. They're so fucking helpful and exactly how I got from rock bottom suicidal to feminine leader and icon and full of self-worth. Thanks for listening. See you soon.